Super Bowl talk update midweek. The excitement is building here in Las Vegas. We're going to talk about the side. We're going to talk about the total. We're going to talk about optimal ways to play it. And then the second video, we are going to talk about the props, of course, that have come out. I am Steve Fezzik. Let's get right to it. As we discussed before, this game opened up as high as New England +3. That was at halftime during the Indianapolis game. All the money so far has been on New England. Went to pick, and even right now in faraway places, it's anywhere from pick in Vegas. Most of the shops dealing New England -1. Here's my line forecast, and frankly, if I could just bet which way the line was going to go, as opposed to who's going to win the game, I would do great, as opposed to doing very well. So I think that money is going to keep trickling in on the team with the better offense, the Patriots, despite Deflategate, which everyone's pretty much has dismissed as being a non-factor and not a factor that's significant enough to matter. I think that this line is going to go to New England -1.5. You're even going to see a 2 on Seattle. But what's going to happen Saturday night, late Saturday night, Sunday morning, when the real money comes in, just like they were on Seattle against Denver, I think we're going to see the same thing. The real money is going to be on the better defense. The real money is going to be on the team with the stronger strength of schedule. The real money is going to be on the team that has had the season-long power rating higher than New England throughout the past 4 to 6 weeks. And even though I've got these teams virtually even, both rated 8 points higher than an average team, I really think the optimal way to bet this, you can bet New England right now. If you like New England, bet them pick. Or I think you can be patient and you can just wait until 5 minutes before kickoff. At the sharpest books, you will probably get New England -103. However, if you like Seattle, I think the best time to bet, probably keep an eye on the market, of course. I'm not infallible. I do get line moves wrong. I think late Saturday night before you go to sleep, probably the best time to grab a Seattle +2 before the pros and the limits go up so high that the real big bettors come in on the Seahawks. Let's move over from the side. Let's move over to the total. Before I do that, one concern I have with that Seattle strength of schedule. 2 games against Arizona, second half of the year. Obviously, Carson Palmer is gone. Stanton plays the first one. Lindley, the much despised Ryan Lindley, plays the second. That's obviously a much easier schedule than getting Arizona earlier in the year. San Francisco, Harbaugh punching his ticket to Michigan already. He checked out. San Francisco checked out. They got the Niners. Both of those games, Thanksgiving and then in December, after the 49ers were a shell of their team earlier in the year, and they even got the Eagles with the Sanchez instead of their Foles for the quarterback. So that strength of schedule, grain of salt, be careful with it. They really didn't play offenses that were all that good, and that's part of the reason we're hearing Seattle's got the best defense ever. It's a very good defense, but we do have concerns that they're overrated based upon that strength of schedule dynamic. Let's go ahead and move on over to the total. I do think that the optimal way, if you like an under in a Super Bowl, there's 2 ways to get at it. One is you can go ahead and bet the first quarter and the first half under. We talked about betting the first half under 20. You could get a 24.5. You could get under 24 even money. I think that still is more desirable than betting the game under based upon historically teams are tight. They come out slower in the Super Bowl, but everyone's looking to make the big play. And when things open up in the second half, things go crazy. The Carolina, New England Super Bowl, the poster child of this, 32-29, I think it was, and despite being 0-0 in the second quarter. So that one really started out super slow, and a lot of Super Bowls do have that dynamic associated with it. A second way to bet the under, if you like the under, is to go ahead and get at that under with team totals, the derivative bets, the prop bets. You know everyone's going to come up and say, I want the Patriots over 24 points. If they like Seattle, I want Seattle over. People aren't going to be betting the unders on these. So it wouldn't surprise me, even if the total would go to 48 and the game closed at pick, that you'd be able to get New England, who is a 1-point favorite right now, under 24.5, lay 05. Seattle under 24 points, lay 105. And the limits are so low, all it takes is one limit bet by a tourist for you to be able to play back, shop around. Same with the live wagering with the apps here locally in the Valley. Usually what happens is they always deal higher. They go higher with this prop betting. You can get some smoking hot under bets on the in-running wagering, the live wagering throughout the game. That is super strong. So that's another way that I would look to attack the under. Another way to look at the under is some of these props on total yards, total passing yards, correlated obviously with the under, and I think that you're going to see inflation in those numbers. Maybe just play that the total number of yards in the game under 666, mark of the devil, is going to go under. That correlates well with the under, especially we've got two teams, despite the 4 interceptions, that really should be taking care of the ball in this game. So I think that's another way to get at it. If you like over in the game, I think 2 ways to play it. You could go ahead and play it at the sharp books in faraway places if you have access to that, if you happen to live in Vancouver, Moscow, or London. Or alternatively, what you can do is you can look towards this trend that we tend to see lower scoring early in the Super Bowl. Wait for a scoreless first quarter, wait for a 3-point first quarter, then jump in the live wagering, hit an over 42.5 when the public will be watching it and their eyes will say, these teams can't move the ball, they can't score. Well, teams have trouble moving the ball against defenses that are completely rested, and because of that, there's a reason the first quarter is favored to be the lowest scoring quarter, lined at 9.5 versus the other quarters. Of course, second and fourth quarters are higher, but even the third quarter is lined at 10. And because of that, I think it wouldn't surprise me if you see 3 and outs in this game, and don't draw the conclusion that this is going to be a very low-scoring game. I don't foresee that happening. Not with the New England having a good but not great defense, and not with the 2 quarterbacks involved. And obviously, Brady's going to be able to put up points on anyone. He's not going to pull a Peyton Manning in the playoffs and have an 8-point game. So just a quick thumbnail sketch of ways you might want to look to bet over or under, or on Seattle, or even on New England. It's going to be a great game. We're going to come back. We're going to break down here, pregame.tv, the different props, some of the different props that have come out, and what we may be looking for there. Stay with us, pregame.tv.